expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed. Alongside me, our co-hosts, Harry Glanz and Alex Nafusi. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, work family.
All right. Yeah.
What's up? I like Dan Leach hovering over my shoulder, but you listen to the show before you learn a lot of new things.
Leach, I got to tell you.
I didn't know there were scams on the internet. Did you guys know that?
That was me that sent you the email, Danny. It was me.
I didn't know there were scams.
That was my picture.
I would not put it past you.
I thought it'd be fun. It seemed funnier when
that's the professional Dan Leach. He's actually a real radio guy.
They are beautiful women.
Scams on the internet, though, right? Scams. Like, how about mortgage scams? How about the stuff you get in the mail? How about the email you get? 1.99 fixed rate, no cost.
Yeah, I've been calling on all those. They're not true.
It is fixed. It's fixed for a month.
Yeah, it's such a
June
scam.
28, 2014. Welcome to the show. Of course, we're brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, a 1-800 low rate, the best mortgage banker. If you need an approval letter, be sure to call Capital. We have people in the office all weekend long to make sure you get the advice you need. Of course, the housing market, and it was what we talk about, mortgages and refinancing. The show today has always been sort of the halfway point. Of course, we won't be doing a show. We got July 4th weekend coming up next weekend. We're going to take off, and most of you families might be taking off and headed up north or doing something fun like that. But
so we can't do a show on that day?
Well, we could. We might show up, but if we don't this could be our sort of our halfway show here.
Right.
Definitely in the middle of summer here, and of course, the housing market has always been, and it's changed over the last few years, and it continuously changes, but somewhere between May and September, we'll call this the halfway point in Southeast Michigan. If you're considering buying a house, you definitely want to have some strategies. We're going to be talking about all those strategies. Rates, that's not a problem. There's always volatility in the marketplace. The bond market, including the mortgage-backed securities, most directly affect mortgage rates. And, of course, they moved back a little weaker territory yesterday, prompting a little bit of increase in the price. Again, very little change in interest rates over the last few months. Here's what they are. They're fantastic. They're either
low.
40, 50-year lows out there, so you can't miss it at all.
So we are in full swing, and Harvey, like we've been talking about all year long, we talk about appraisals, and that seems to be our favorite subject. But right now, because the home purchase market is in full swing, and all the purchase agreements that were entered into in May and June, all the appraisers are bringing in the values. A lot of appraisals are not coming in at the sales price, and it's just pure and simple. The values haven't caught up with the sales prices yet. So in order to get a valid appraisal, in order to get a value for us to lend on, there has to be like homes, like you're purchasing, that have sold for your purchase price or above. So, for example, yesterday, Harvey, you came into my office, you had a situation where the purchase price was around $300,000.
Yeah,
it was about $300,000, right? So we're looking at the appraisal, and it came in under the purchase price. Well, it's a simple fact, and I know we went back and forth. It's appraisal 101. If there aren't any sales at the purchase price, $300,000, it's not going to come in for $300,000.
It's not that they haven't caught up yet. That's not the issue. The issue is that the first 2 quarters of this year, values were up 12, 15, 20% in some areas. So going into the third quarter, realtors said, well, if it's up 12, 15% the first 2 quarters, it's going to go up 12, 15% the second half of the year. And they're like, well, if this house sold for $300 in March, we're going to list the same house in June for $325. That's not how it works.
Right. Another
work like
added
No, but
problem.
it's okay. You can list it and you can sell it for
list it for
that.
anything you
But
want.
it's not going to
You can list it
appraise
for
for
$1 million.
that.
You
Right.
can
So
buy
it
it for $1
hasn't
million.
caught up. So that's true.
And it's the lack of inventory, and we know this, what's going on out there. There's not a lot of these style homes out there. Again, the good homes are going for top dollar, so they're getting bid up. And because of that, right, they don't have the comparable sales to support it. And
Right.
It doesn't mean that next year or even 4 or 5 months from now, that house won't be worth that. As you said, Harry, things are going to catch up.
So yesterday I made a call and I talked to a guy that he's a realtor, real nice guy in Livonia. He's selling a house in Garden City, Livonia area, but it's kind of, it's Garden City with Livonia schools, but it's a split level, quad level house, and the comps that were coming in were ranches, and ranches in this area happen to be selling for more money, but you can't use ranch comps on a tri or a quad level home. You have to comp it out to houses that are similar. So, and we didn't get an argument about it. It was very nice. No, they were buying a tri-level. Yeah, tri-level or split-level house.
Those are tough, dude.
That's right. They're tough to comp. And there aren't a lot of tri-level and bi-level houses selling in that area. So the bottom line is that it's going to come in lower than the sales price.
Look,
That's
we're going to
what's
take all
gonna
your
happen.
calls here this morning. We got a lot of these issues. We're going to continue this part of the conversation. 248-539-9797. You must have a strategy and a plan to purchase a house. Here, just to sort of go over my transaction, roughly a $300,000 purchase price, about a $282 appraisal. Within 24 hours, I got to commend these real estate agents were on the money on this for this reason. They immediately...
Hold on, write that down.
Yeah, exactly. They immediately, though, contacted the sellers. All parties got together, and they came up with a negotiation. They actually met halfway through.
But that's the plan.
And
okay?
that's the plan. My buyer has an opportunity now, truly, to buy the house for they're actually going to buy the house for less money. Now, he's going to bring more money to the closing because lenders lend. Banks lend on appraised values, not the acquisition cost. So he actually now, because of the lower appraisal, is able to purchase this house for $10,000 less. However, he has to make up that difference of about $9,500. It's sort of a win-win, and at the end of the day, that's what all these transactions have to be.
Well, no, it is a win-win because they want the property. Okay, it's a nice house. They want the property. I took a look at it. It's beautiful. Why wouldn't you? And if you can come to a reasonable solution, both parties getting together, that's what it's all about.
On occasion, of course, a buyer might not have the difference to bring in cash. That becomes a problem. Again, this is an interesting thing. My client's able to buy the house for $10,000 less now. That's great. Ultimately, that's awesome. He might have put that in that money.
You're the bad guy now, though, because Harvey Freed did the appraisal.
Well, of course, we don't do the appraisals. We got a lot to share with you. 248-539-9797. Of course, a lot of information out there. Some information was interesting. Realty Track did analysis. Bank-owned properties actually sold for more money at the first quarter this year. Recently analyzed residential sales over the year. Bank-owned overall went for about 3% more over market. So, again, sometimes you're thinking, oh, this is a bank-owned property, I'm going to steal it. Not always. There's bidding wars on these. And again, at the end of the day, there's some stats that came out that shows that these bank-owned properties actually sold at a premium more than just regular homes that were being sold on the marketplace.
If you underlist a house, you are going to start a bidding war. I mean, Stacey and I looked at one, I think last December, and it was way underlisted, and it went for way, way more than what it was listed for. I mean, it's like you're starting your own little mini auction.
We definitely want to follow up with a lot of great information here. We're going to be talking about appraised values. We're always getting into the refinance marketplace. Again, HARP loans are going to end here in 2015. We've come across a lot of families out there that need to go ahead and refinance and take advantage of this program. Again, it's the Home Affordable Refinance Program. Again, it's not my program. It's the government program. It's not Mr. Obama's program either. It's the government's program, allowing families to go ahead and refinance their homes, even if they're underwater on their first mortgage. Again, you could have a second mortgage out there. That lien becomes subordinated. You understand that whole philosophy behind it, that if you change the term and really better your interest rate on the first mortgage, you have an opportunity to build equity in the house. And that was the whole idea, is to pay down your principal, to build equity, to get a lot of these families off what we call the disaster loans, which were basically these interest-only, negative amortization loans. And again, as you mentioned, a lot of families had the zero down 80-20 loans. There's an opportunity to build some equity.
To pay off the mortgage. And I've said for years, I used to say my generation. I guess I'm old now, but I blame a lot of the younger buyers that it was zero down, 80-20. How much house can I afford? And you just keep re-amortizing these loans over 30 years. Guys, you got to pay this off, man. The whole point of a mortgage is to pay it off. It's a loan. You want to pay it back. You don't want to just continually refinance. And what I've done for the majority of my clients right now, when rates go down, if they're 6 years into a 30-year fixed, I put them on a 24-year term. So the payment goes down, and you still stay on that same track to pay the loan off. That's what's important. It's managing your finances as a whole.
Well, we kid about it every week. Our favorite call is when somebody wants to reduce the term. If they're on a 30 and they want to go to a 20 or they want to go to a 15, and they're looking to pay it off because, after all, the object is to pay down on the mortgage. I mean, the interest-only loans, they're not for everybody. They went mainstream about 10 years ago, and a lot of people got in trouble because it's really not a financial tool for somebody that, what do you think happens on an interest-only loan? I mean, you start out
you pay the interest.
Right, you start out with a $200,000 loan, and 10 years later, the balance is $200,000 plus interest.
Right, and then what people forget though is that if you take a loan for $200,000 for 30 years, the interest only period is only 10 years, and then what happens is the loan re-amortizes to a 20-year. So your payment is going to double. Yeah. All of a sudden, you're flipped out. So people are taking these interest only loans sometimes to qualify, and then when the payment goes up, they're like, What am I going to do?
Yeah, an interest-only loan is good for somebody that it wants to borrow at a lower cost of funds, then add money to the principal to pay it off.
I don't even think we allow them anymore. Do we allow
it?
It's not to go ahead and pay the minimum payment. All right, that's not what they were for. It happened like that. People then ended up losing their jobs and subsequently ended up losing their houses.
All right, 248-539-9797. We will go to this phone call here. We got to sneak one in here. No, we're going to, well, you know what?
Jenny, what's up? You're live on the air.
Let's go to Jenny real quick.
Hello.
Hi, Jenny on the
Hey,
block.
what's up?
Hi, how are you?
What's going on?
My husband and I filed bankruptcy back in 2010 because our mortgage, we owe 3 times more than what the home was valued, and the mortgage companies wouldn't help us, so we ended up filing bankruptcy.
Why would
But right now
they
we're
help you?
living in a manufactured home,
A what section?
and we would
Manufactured home.
try to get, we would like to get another mortgage to get an actual home. What kind of down payment would we have to look for?
I don't know if you're going to be able to get another mortgage, Jenny.
Yes.
No, I don't know if you're going to be able to get another mortgage. So when was the foreclosure complete?
When we filed the bankruptcy was in 2010, and we did put the house in it.
Right. And when did it go to foreclosure?
It actually was starting the foreclosure. It didn't get to the sheriff's sale.
Hey Jenny, I got to go to a break. Jenny, hang tight, okay? I got to go to a break. Hang tight, okay?
We're going
I'll
to
be
keep it
back
right
in
on the
2
line there.
minutes.
Okay, we got a lot to share with you. 248-539-9797. All your calls.
Hi, Harry Glanz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, and they're not going down to zero. So what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. If you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services and MLS number 3038 Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
From new vehicles to those with high mileage, one thing is certain. Having clean motor oil is one of the most important things you can do to keep your engine running at peak performance. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, you'll find the Valvoline motor oil you need at the right price. Shop today and choose a 5-quart jug of Valvoline Conventional or Max Life high mileage motor oil and a MicroGuard filter for $22.99. Valvoline Conventional motor oil provides excellent protection in all climates and driving conditions, maintaining a safe and steady engine temperature. Valvoline Max Life helps fight leaks, deposits, sludge, and friction while extending the life of higher mileage vehicles. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and pick up a 5-quart jug of Valvoline Conventional or Max Life high mileage and a MicroGuard filter for $22.99. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Jenna from Clarkston has a question for DTE Energy, and we have Kate here to help answer it. So, Kate, how can Jenna save energy and money?
Well, don't worry, Jenna. We have a lot of online tools to help our customers be more efficient and save money.
Oh, I love saving money. Can I borrow $1?
Sure. But how about I just tell you to go to our energy efficiency house? That'll help you find energy savings tips for inside and outside.
Excellent. Now, talk to me about lighting.
When you go to the store and you're overwhelmed by all of the choices in light bulbs?
I'm constantly overwhelmed.
The lighting guide is going to help you with that. It gives you information on what's changed in lighting and what to look for when buying bulbs.
There's tons of varieties, right?
Oh, yeah. You can even have them in your dining room chandelier.
Now, talk to me about this My Energy Analyzer.
It's an interactive tool that's going to help you evaluate where the savings are in your house based on how you use energy.
So the best thing to do is for people to go to dteenergy.com/saveenergy, right?
Yep. There you'll find over 100 energy savings tips, links to videos, and information about all of our rebates.
I hope that answered your question, Jenna. And thanks to Kate from DTE. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
There's a lot of bull from some companies wanting you to pay around $20 a pill to boost your sexual performance. $20 a pill? That's just bullshit. Because you can turbo boost your sexual performance for, wait for it, $0 a pill. Not only that, this same pill also enhances muscle growth and provides miraculous benefits for your heart health, blood pressure, energy levels, even your immune system. That's because we're offering today's listeners a free bottle of these peak nitric oxide super pills. For your free bottle, call 1-800-900-7176. We'll even send free test strips proving every pill works. In a Nobel Prize, yes, a Nobel Prize winning discovery, nitric oxide was found to boost your sexual performance, plus a whole host of other reinvigorating, age-defying healthy benefits. Discover how to get your free bottle of peak nitric oxide and free test strips at 1-800-900-7176. No more bedroom disappointment. No outrageous pill prices. No bullshit. Call 1-800-900-7176. 1-800-900-7176.
It's summer. And no, your thermometer is not kidding. Neither is the Home Depot with red, white, and blue savings on the 52-inch Brookhurst ceiling fan. Just $49.88 with light kit and your choice of finishes. So, let's not sweat this. $49.88 is a small price to pay for happiness, a cooler home, and lower energy bills. Let's do this. The Brookhurst ceiling fan, just $49.88. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. While supplies last, US only. See store for details.
Go to magicwindow.com and save 50% on new fiberglass windows. That's magic with a J. Magicwindow.com.
Where Detroit sports never sleeps.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're going to broadcast till 10 o'clock. The Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Give us a call. Also, you can send us an email to mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. This show is sort of a recap of what's going on here right in the middle of the summertime. If you're out there purchasing a house, you must have a strategy. Consumer Department said on Tuesday that sales surged up 18.6%, a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 604. Actually, that's 600,000 units. That's a lot of homes being sold. It's really the highest level since May of 2008. We don't have to tell you that homes are going quickly. The good homes go fast. You must be organized. You must have your approval letter. We got tons to share with you. But let's first go back to Jenny out there in Macomb. Let me tell you, Jenny, that you definitely filed bankruptcy. If you put the house in the bankruptcy, of course, there's a 3-year waiting period from the sheriff's deed. It sounded like you had that date on the sheriff's deed. What was that date?
I think the sheriff's sale was supposed to happen just before we filed, or just after we filed bankruptcy, or just before, I think it was.
Okay. Well, we can check that out for you. So what we'll do is definitely follow up with a phone call to you. And, of course, what Alex was going is sometimes, people that do this, some of them can get back into the housing market, and I hope you guys have rebuilt your credit. Did you guys go ahead and start getting 3 or 4 lines of credit since that bankruptcy?
We actually did, because I work at a credit union, so in my terms that we couldn't put anything in the bankruptcy. So I did reaffirm, like, our cars, and I did have a Visa and a signature loan with them. So those I did reaffirm, and we do have a second home in Lexington.
Okay.
And we reaffirmed on that, but our attorney never sent the paperwork in, so it's shown as a bankruptcy discharge, but we have been paying on that.
Well, it sounded like you had a great opportunity. The one up in Lexington can end up being a snag for you guys, but definitely want to give you a follow-up call. Thanks for the call this morning. Again, we get many of these calls here. I know. Thank you, Alex, for letting me.
Guys, it's 3 years from the date of the sheriff's sale, and you have to reestablish credit, too.
And that's it. I mean, you really got to take care of it. A lot of times you're just better off. Alex, you frown upon this. Again, it doesn't build communities when people walk away. We get so many great phone calls where they say, Alex, thank you for being a little rough on people, because, people had just walked away from these homes. But the truth is, you can get back into the housing market.
You kept your vacation home. I mean,
yeah, but here's the situation. There's some real situations going on. I don't know if you guys saw the front page of the New York Times yesterday. Big article about Detroit. It's kind of my interpretation is, and I'm tired of negative articles, truthfully, about anything, but it's Detroit needs residents, but send some packing. And Alex and Harvey, we talk about it all the time. I mean, if you can't make the payment, you can't make your tax payment, then you can't stay in the house. But the writer, the headline, Detroit needs residents, but it's about foreclosures and about people that can't pay their taxes, and so you can't stay in the house. So, I mean, here we are.
Nobody likes paying taxes.
No, I understand that.
You, man.
So the article, it just talks about how many foreclosures and how many people aren't paying taxes, and then people are buying the houses back at auctions. I mean, is it a little bit of a funky system and things are going on there? Detroit has a huge landmass, and there's so many properties, and there's so many things that need to be fixed, but these things just don't happen overnight. And the timing of this article, to me, when things are starting to go well, values are coming up, and then you report on foreclosures and taxes not being paid. I mean, this isn't new. This isn't even really news. I mean, but why do you have to put it on the front page of the New York Times?
Well, I don't like when Detroit takes a beating and you get negative articles like that. If you want to join the show, 248-539-9797. I just don't like when the national media beats on Detroit. And I hate, if stations are out of town and, people say, I live about a half an hour north of Detroit. First thing they say is, you live near 8 Mile. That's stupid. Eminem movie and whatever. I mean, it's
It was a good movie, I thought.
Good movie, but like that's not what Detroit is. That's not what the suburbs are, man. I mean, there's the Harvey, like you've got your boat, the lakes and all the. It's a good area, and I don't like the negative vibe that people put out towards Detroit.
But this is old news. What they should do is just turn the corner. Stop with the negativity, okay?
No doubt.
I mean, in Detroit was lost a quarter of its population in the 10 years after 2000.
Old
Okay, guess
news.
what? It's old news. 2000 was 14 years ago.
No doubt.
Okay, stop with this already. Get over it.
Look, there's always going to be those little snags. We watch Nancy Grace. Of course, we had the situation with the 12-year-old and all that. I mean, look, we don't need any black eyes. If you're up to no good, you can leave the city. You can do an invitation out of town
Just
here.
telling you.
248-539-9797.
It's a great area to do business, a great area to live. The quality of life is phenomenal. We're a major league team. 4 major sports teams, college teams. I mean, come on,
there's
stop with
universities, there's great libraries, there's great public schools all around, golf courses, abundant lakes, lots to do. And
my problem is I read
summertime.
too many periodicals during the day, and when you come across this, it doesn't have to be on the front page of the New York Times.
Well, what's cool too is it seemed like, Alex, your millennial folks out there we're headed out of town. Everyone was so down on it in the early 2000s, but there's a hint that a lot of families have come back. They've tried to do things elsewhere, and they say, you know what, I like it here. There's a lot of good things going on here. Their families are here. So you do get a hint that a lot of this group that we're talking about hitting the road, they are working their way back to Michigan. So you do smell a little bit of that. Again, we have some open lines here. 248-539-9797. There's so much going on in the mortgage world out there. Again, we talk about these millennials for the last couple of weeks, the younger people out there. They've got tons of student loan debt. That's been a problem. There's a lack of inventory. There's higher prices out there because of that. And, of course, there's always moving pieces going on in the mortgage world and the housing market. It's just like any other sector. There is a lot to know. Make it easy. Give us a call. We can show you some ways.
Well, people are feeling good about themselves, and I've been out the last 2 nights doing various things around town, and because of the weather, because of our summers are really good here, you should see how many people are out and about. Alex, you were probably out in Royal Oak last night. I was walking around Birmingham. Restaurants were crowded. People were active. You go downtown, there's a lot of stuff going on. The Tigers are, we're in the middle of a race right now. Tigers are playing well.
That was a short little slump they came out of, though. That was good.
Well,
I'd rather have it now than in September, right?
You're not as bad as 10 and 20, and you're not as good as winning maybe 7-8 in a row. But it doesn't matter. We have a real good team, and there's a lot of excitement going on. There's a lot of excitement going on in this area.
This might shock you guys, but I was not out in Royal Oak last night.
Congratulations! You took a night off.
It was we were at our neighbor's house, and we were hanging out with the neighbors, and we talked about Detroit, and we just Harry, your article about being negative and all that, and we were talking about someone on our street, on our block, and it's kind of weird. It's like a neighborhood sub, and it's like people are close and you're friends and neighbors and all that. Somebody did walk on a house a couple years ago, and I live in a nice neighborhood. I'm not a wealthy dude, but I mean, we have a nice house and nice stuff. And
Very nice.
Somebody walked away from a house, and we were talking. I said, the problem with people walking from houses is it ruins the entire area. And to me, if I couldn't refinance and lower my rate by whatever a percentage point, I don't care if I can save $100, $200 a month. It doesn't bother me. But there are families out there that if you walk from a house and someone else is trying to refinance and their value is brought down by a foreclosure or a short sale and they can't save $100, $200, that makes or breaks some families. That's a big deal, and that's why I get upset.
So that's what happened on Harvey's situation yesterday. All right, the property's selling for about $300,000. There's one comp in there for $248.
Right,
and although it's an old comp, it's one of the most recent sales in there. But, the sale took place months and months and months ago for $248.
Well, again, maybe the unit wasn't updated. Maybe it was some sort of foreclosure. You never know. A distressed property.
There's no question.
You just really never know.
So that's exactly what's going on. So those properties still have to be listed on an appraisal, and they still affect the value. So when Alex appropriately gets angry at people for saying, hey, they walked away, but they kept everything else going on in their life, it does ruin neighborhoods.
Is that other call? She says, we filed bankruptcy because we owed 3 times more than our house, was worth. Dude, you know how much I owed on my house
at one time?
At the bottom? Oh. I mean,
Me too.
It was probably 3 times.
All right, 248-539-9797. We've got John out there in Dearborn Heights. Welcome to the show, John. Go ahead.
Hey, Harvey, how are you?
Very good.
Hey, you were my first mortgage guy back in 1998. Just want to let you know.
Don't tell anyone I've been doing it too long. God forbid they'll all come here and try to get a mortgage from you. Thanks, John. That's cool.
Yeah, but however, I just been a long time, and I had back in 2008, 2009, when the market was crashing, I had an extra investment home, in my own home. When I decided to get married, we decided to do a Chapter 7 because everything was so in the water. I didn't have a way out, I felt. But that's been taken care of, and everything's been closed out for a few years. We make a combined salary over $300,000, but my house in Dearborn Heights is still underwater, and I desperately want to move out or do something with this house without having it pay through my nose just to get out of it and
ruin your credit and sort of start over again. I mean, ultimately we look at people and we say, look, is there any way you'd be willing to save your credit and use that chunk of the money? I mean, you got a nice income, and at the end of the day, sometimes you have to use some of that income to walk away from it properly. Again, if you do a short sale, and it's a good reminder out there, a short sale or a deed in lieu of foreclosure, these aren't going to be good marks, and you're not going to be able to turn around and get a mortgage quickly. So
and you make $300,000 a year.
You might qualify. Actually, that's what I'd like to check out, John. Maybe we could qualify you, and you could keep the existing house as a rental or some sort. Because again, there are no properties out there. Families are looking to rent homes.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the other things, too, is just the option, right, to even maybe do the government loans or refinance to lower if it's underwater. But I don't know if I qualify with making too much money.
Yeah, you got to pay the loan back, dude. You make $300,000 a year. The people listening right now that are actually pissed off at you because you made that call right now, saying you want to walk from the house.
I'm not mad at them, though. Hey, John, thanks for the call. Follow up. Always thanks for the input here. And again, we have some open lines. We want to hear from you. 248-539-9797.
Jenna from Clarkston has a question for DTE Energy, and we have Kate here to help answer it. So, Kate, how can Jenna save energy and money?
Well, don't worry, Jenna. We have a lot of online tools to help our customers be more efficient and save money.
Oh, I love saving money. Can I borrow $1?
Sure. But how about I just tell you to go to our energy efficiency house? That'll help you find energy savings tips for inside and outside.
Excellent. Now, talk to me about lighting.
When you go to the store and you're overwhelmed by all of the choices in light bulbs?
I'm constantly overwhelmed.
The lighting guide is going to help you with that. It gives you information on what's changed in lighting and what to look for when buying bulbs.
There's tons of varieties, right?
Oh, yeah. You can even have them in your dining room chandelier.
Now talk to me about this My Energy Analyzer.
It's an interactive tool that's going to help you evaluate where the savings are in your house based on how you use energy.
So the best thing to do is for people to go to dteenergy.com/saveenergy, right?
Yep. There you'll find over 100 energy savings tips, links to videos, and information about all of our rebates.
I hope that answered your question, Jenna. And thanks to Kate from DTE. DTE Energy. Know your own power.
There are certain moments in the summer you just can't pass up. Catching the fireworks. Executing the perfect cannonball. Small windows in time you want to take advantage of before the moment is lost. Consider the Mercedes-Benz Summer Event one of those times. Come in now and get an exceptional offer on the Protective 2014 ML350 4MATIC, an NHTSA 5-star overall safety vehicle at 2.99% APR for 24 to 72 months, or lease one for just $599 a month for 36 months with $5,393 due at signing. Plus, get the added assurance that Mercedes-Benz was named the 2014 ALG Residual Value Award Premium Brand winner. Hurry. This is your moment. This is your summer event.
Available only to qualified customers exclusively through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services and participating dealers through June 30th, 2014. Call 1-800-FOR Mercedes for offer details.
Visit your local Detroit area Mercedes-Benz dealer or MBUSA.com.
The following rules cover the tickets BP Tigers Flyaway Contest 2014. Enter at 971theticket.com from June 2, 2014 to June 29, 2014, and from July 7, 2014 to August 3, 2014. 10 qualifying prize winners will be selected on June 30, 2014 from entries received between June 2, 2014 and June 29, 2014. And 10 qualifying prize winners selected on August 4, 2014 from entries received between July 7, 2014 and August 3, 2014. Entries not being accepted June 30, 2014 to July 6, 2014. Only one entry per person per random drawing. Entries will not roll over from one random drawing to the other. Winners selected on June 30, 2014 will receive 2 passes for a VIP tour of Comerica Park on August 11, 2014 to 12 p.m. and qualifying prize winners selected on August 4, 2014 valued at $12. No substitutions permitted. After each tour, the station will randomly select one grand prize winner from all qualifying prize winners at the tour. There will be a total of 2 grand prize winners. Each grand prize is 2 round-trip coach airfares from Detroit, Michigan to Kansas City, Missouri on Sunday, September 21, 2014, and a $100 Visa gift card valued at $1,500. Hotel accommodations not included in the grand prize. Open to Michigan residents 21 or older. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. For details and official rules, visit the station's contest page online at 971theticket.com.
So, after a shark-like frenzy of spring boat shows, you still couldn't pull the trigger. Now, you're stuck on shore waving at your friends and neighbors, pretending to be happy about their new boat. Well, that's just sadder than an empty jar of peanut butter. Cheer up, compadre, because at Wilson Marine, we get it. We'll give you a second chance at boat show pricing so you can get off the shore and get on the water. You're going to want to get to Wilson Marine now because summer flies by. And with boat show prices, you'll be happier than a hound dog on a dreamsicle. Wilson Marine. Life is short. Boats are cool.
Take the keys to the coolest boat on the water. Scarab 195s in the hottest colors, on a trailer and ready for delivery, priced at $3,500 below Cobo Boat Show prices. Visit wilsonboats.com. That's wilsonboats.com for details. Life is short. Second chances on boat show prices are cool.
Does your bank charge you a birthday fee? Did you have to think about that for a second? Find out if you're with the right bank. Take the bank compatibility test at hallofbanking.com.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Meyer.
Max Scherzer with the task today of starting another Detroit Tigers winning streak. Tigers falling to the Astros 4-3 last night. Max Scherzer on the bump this afternoon, 3:45 right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Tigers in Houston, Scherzer's record 9-3. Red Wings with a 15th overall selection in the NHL draft, taking Waterford native Dylan Larkin, who had played for the U.S. national team in Ann Arbor. Larkin will play for the University of Michigan this fall. And Tiger Woods, host of the PGA's Quicken Loans National near our nation's capital, misses the cut in his first tournament back since undergoing surgery. From the 1-800-CALL SAM studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 971theticket.com.
We never miss the extra point. 97.1 The Ticket.
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Call us all day long, all week long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Always your emails at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. There's a lot to know. We talked about some of the articles in the previous week. There's been still some... Here, you got that mic on?
Oh, there you go. You want to give a shout out? You want to give a shout out on a birthday today?
What do you got?
Your friend Alan. That you see every morning. You see the
Alan
CPA.
Borson. You know, I actually saw that.
Give a shout out to Alan.
The CPA. There you go, Alan.
Do you want to say how old he is today?
No, we don't. But we definitely know he's probably hanging out at the Starbucks or something.
There you go.
There. But good
My
for
man,
Alan and all the
56.
CPAs.
Happy birthday.
All right, we let that one go through. And again, we want anyone out there else who's having
Can
a
we
birthday.
do that? Text us.
We can say anything. 9:32 this morning. We're going to go to some calls here. Let's try Steve out there in Dexter. Hey, good morning, Steve. Thanks for staying on the line.
How you doing, guys?
Hey, man, what's up, Steve?
Hey, so I bought a house last year, probably 1 year ago today. So I bought the house. It was distressed. I bought it for $150,000. Had to totally gut the house, redid the kitchen, bathroom, put drywall up, repainted the whole house, new roof on it, new furnace, new windows. So now,
awesome, good work, man.
I need to hold the house for 2 years in order to get home state tax credit where I don't have to claim capital investment.
Capital gains.
Capital gains
Yeah,
tax?
capital gains, exactly. So I've held on. June 24th is when I can sell it next year. That'll be 2 years and 1 day. So now I need about $20,000 more to finish everything else. I got a couple other things to do. It's a 10-acre property, so I want to split the property and build another house on the other side. So now I owe my mortgage is $140,000 right now. I had my real estate agent take a look at it yesterday. She said she'd sell it for about $350,000.
Nice.
So now I need $20,000. I don't want to take any more out of my bank account. So can I get a home equity line of credit, or should I refinance?
No, absolutely. Steve, what rate are you paying right now on the $140,000?
4.6%.
Yes, I mean, we can probably lower that rate a little bit and get you the $20,000 cash out, and the payment will stay the same. And just do a refinance.
Oh, real close. Is that your primary residence, Steve?
Yes, it is.
You live there. Oh, yeah, you can do that now. I'm not even sure you got to hang on to it for this 2 years and this and that. But
Well, hey, Steve, you're going to split that property. Do you have that paperwork into the city? They're asking them to split it. And...
Well, that's one of the reasons I need some money, because to get the survey done, I need it's $1,500, and it's probably another $500 to get the paperwork all through. So that's about $2,000 to do that.
All right, so you already checked it out. You're an investigator. You know what to do. You know the whole process.
I already can do everything. I talked to the zoning guys, so that's all set up. I just need the money.
All right, cool.
Steve, I'll call you for the show. We'll do a refinance, get you the cash out, and the payment will stay the same. It'll be an easy deal.
Oh, Yeah, that's no problem. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, Steve. See you, man.
All right, very good. I like the idea. We just do one loan on that. So like you said, Alex, just do a cash-out refinance, give him the money. He's got one new mortgage. He doesn't need to pick up another mortgage.
Hey, Steve's a high-energy guy. He's got a lot of things going. He's checked it out. Sounds like he's got a plan. He's got a lot of action going on.
We had a recent poll that was out there, and many people still are overestimating the amount of funds required to purchase a house. We always talk about trying to break it down and make it easy for more families to understand. And again, you can purchase zero-down programs. They got rural development loans. You've got VA loans for all our veterans out there. You got 3.5% down FHA and 5% down conventional. You don't need a ton of money. There's seller's concessions that are available. Also in Wayne County, there's areas that actually have down payment assistance programs. Call Capital, call us here on the show. Find out more about it. Again, simply find out what it takes to be a homeowner. Again, owning a home, building strong communities, having your kids feel as if they have a sense of community, and again, the schools are around the block. That's what it's all about. You're going to be paying somebody. Either you're paying your own mortgage and building equity, or somebody else's.
It's a really good point that you brought up about the people overestimate the amount of funds needed to buy a house. And I did a deal that closed the other day. A teacher bought a house on an RD loan, which is zero down, a very minimal amount of PMI, and she wrote an EMD check, or earnest money deposit, for $1,000, and she got the $1,000 back at closing. It was a true zero down. She went in. I'm a single mom. I want to take care of her. All that. I mean, zero down. She got her earnest money deposit check back at the closing table. I mean, easy deal. She was super happy.
Right, on rural development, I believe a 4% seller's concession is allowed on an RD loan.
Correct.
And you talk about maybe a $200,000 house, and again, they're not always that expensive, but you don't need that much in concessions. Again, so sometimes the seller's willing to put a win-win together and get away, and they want to buy a new home.
She was super. She was excited. Like when people get excited and like people are genuinely happy, that's what that's what makes me happy.
Yeah,
that's
makes
like
it easy.
nice. That's what kind of makes all the stress and everything worth it.
Let's try Chris out there in Clinton Township. Good morning, Chris. You're live on the ticket. Go ahead.
Hi. I just had a question regarding. I have a house that's underwater, and I have an opportunity to change jobs out of state. And I was wondering, how does that work as far as I've heard that there might be programs available for moving because of job relocation where the government will aid you in getting a new loan.
I have not heard of that. What do you mean aid you in getting a new loan, Chris? Like you want to buy another house out of state?
If I had to sell my house and do a short sale on my current property and then purchasing a new property.
No, don't do that. Are you talking about relocation? In other words, a relocation package. Many employers out there, I'm not familiar that the government is always offering those up. But yes, many relocation packages are brought to you. Your employer comes to you and says, look, we need you. You're a quality guy. We need you in another state.
Well, and then they'll buy you. There's a possibility of them buying him out of his existing home and relocating him to the new area.
That would probably be the route to go. But to do a short sale, that would jam you up.
Yeah.
Chris,
sure.
when did you buy your house? How long ago?
About 3 years ago.
Okay. What was the purchase price?
I paid $240 for it.
And it says you're calling from Clinton Township. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it's not. It's not worth what you own it now in Clinton Township. It's a great area.
I mean, 3 years ago, people were giving away houses. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, how don't you have equity?
Yeah.
I'm not very far underwater. I'm just maybe like 10,000 under. I was just curious to find out how there's programs available.
There's not a program available to make up that difference. But I mean, dude, if you have a chance to move out of state, I mean, for $10,000, just pay the difference. I mean, just bring the money to close and be done with it and move on.
Okay,
that's what I would do for sure.
All right,
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. Sometimes it takes money to get out of the situation you're in. But again,
and sometimes new employers will pay for that in relocation expense.
If they want him, if there's a good firm that wants him, say, listen, dude, I'll come. I'll move to Chicago, but you got to pay the difference.
Right. Now, I'm not saying it happens every time, and maybe there are a lot of employers that don't do it, but it is not unusual that could occur.
And you can always ask.
All right, you're listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Show. We're in our 14th season, believe it or not. 248-539-9797. We give you hardcore answers to all these tougher questions out there. The world has changed. Again, I remember doing shows back in 99 here. Things were different. They changed nonstop. Find out where you fit in this, the world of mortgages. Again, whether you're refinancing your house, can you save some money? If you're buying a house, it really is strange when we hear a call that someone purchased in 2009, 10, 11, 12, and 13. You should have bought those homes right. You should definitely have bought those homes right because values have really started in 2013 to tick up. So, again, our families that bought homes in 10 and 11.
Last call is he thinks it's underwater.
Well, there are certain areas that haven't caught up. I mean, let's face it. We always talk about, we talk about every single area that has appreciated in value, but there are some areas that haven't caught up.
Yeah, hopefully you'll get better advice next time around when you purchase a house. Again, call Capital and you won't have these problems. We'll definitely give you some good information up front. Let's try Lynn out there in Livonia. Hey, good morning, Lynn. You're welcome to the show.
Hi, how you doing?
Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a question. I've heard of the mortgage credit
Certificate, the Michigan Credit Certificate, yeah.
Certificate. And why is it not more known?
Well,
and how does it exactly work?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I've done one of them in 23 years. There was about 100 pieces of paper to fill out. I recall that the situation was on the Michigan Mortgage Credit Certificate. It's a tax benefit to you. So when you file your tax return, right. So the situation is if you ever do make more money because there's an income limitation on that, you have to pay that program back. And at the end of the day, there's so much work and paperwork. I think it just scares many clients away and lenders away. It's just a tremendous amount of work and delays. Again, in today's marketplace, when you're purchasing a house, there's so many other offers coming in. So when you throw in a purchase agreement down with an offer saying that you're going to get one of these loans, they don't accept it. The real estate agents are afraid of it. Most mortgage people aren't familiar with it. And that's why sometimes you don't get your offer accepted. Lynn, I'll follow up with you, see what other mortgage firms we can set you up with. And we come back. All your calls, 248-539-9797.
Here's your...
The road stretches for miles in front of you. No limits, no boundaries. And with the Ram 1500, you'll be able to reach mile after open mile. It gets a best-in-class 25 miles per gallon highway. So your destination won't just be determined by your gas gauge, but by your gauge for achievement. It's the best fuel economy in a pickup. And the Ram 1500 is the first ever back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Guts, glory, Ram. Well-qualified employee lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2014 Ram 1500 Express Crew Cab 4x4 with a V8 gas engine for $199 a month for 24 months with $13.58 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. EPA estimated 25 mpg highway based on V6 4x2. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for lease details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Chrysler Capital. 25-cent charge for each mile over 20,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 6:30.
Hey, check this out. Say something smart, Polly.
Bell Tire has the lowest tire price, period.
Everybody knows that.
Bell Tire does more. Alignments, batteries, shocks, and struts.
I wonder where he picked that up.
He's been talking to this guy.
Bell Tire.
Honey, there's a tire in our kitchen.
I know. He's amazing.
Everybody knows Bell Tire has the lowest tire price, period. But we also offer a full line of automotive services, including alignments, batteries, shocks, and struts, and more. At Bell Tire, you always get the lowest tire price, period, on a full line of great brand name tires. And you get the best installation package in the business, great customer service, and ASE certified mechanics to work on your car. There's a lot more to Bell Tire than tires.
Ask me about brakes.
Get the lowest tire price, period, and more. Only at Bell Tire.
Bell Tire, with over 90 locations there in your neighborhood. For the Bell Tire near you, call 888-GO-BELL or log on to belltire.com. Hurry to Bell Tire today.
Your paycheck. Your family depends on it. But if something happens to you, you need life insurance. And chances are SelectQuote can get it for you at a surprisingly low price. I'm Andy Dobbs, a SelectQuote term life insurance agent. I just found Alec, who's 38 and in great health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $19 a month. Phil, 41, smokes an occasional cigar. I got him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $23 a month. Our secret? We impartially shop select, highly rated life insurance companies for your best rates.
For a free quote, call 1-800-900-1665. That's 1-800-900-1665. 1-800-900-1665. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save. Get full details on the example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
It's the car you buy if you win the lottery. Go inside the Lamborghini factory and race through the Italian countryside on 60 Minutes, Sunday at 7 on CBS 62.
More real news every morning.
Intelligence services are on alert this morning.
If you had one concern about where the market is today, what would it be?
How do you get the confidence back of the American people?
That's our promise to you.
It is a story you'll see only on CBS This Morning.
See for yourself on CBS This Morning.
You know the $5 footlong. Well, meet its awesome little brother, the $3 6-inch sub of the day. Every day of the week, we'll have a different regular 6-inch sub or flatbread available for just $3. That's 7 Subway favorites at a price everyone can enjoy. So mark your calendars and bring your appetite, because no matter what day it is, there's a tasty deal waiting for you. But only at your local Subway restaurants. Prices and participation may vary. Excludes premium and supreme subs. Additional charge for extras plus tax. See stores for details.
97.1 The Ticket invites you to a night of terrifying fun. Erebus Haunted Attraction in downtown Pontiac presents A Summer Scream. 3 days only, July 11th, 12th, and 13th. Over a half-mile walk through the Erebus Haunted House. And just a measly glow stick in hand. A total blackout. Everyone is brave until the lights go out. Buy tickets now before they're all gone at HauntedPontiac.com. Save $3. Enter promo code TICKET.
Detroit Tigers baseball. One more reason when you think of sports, you think of Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, welcome back to the show. We're in our last segment here. It's 9:46 out there on a beautiful summer day. Hope you get out there and enjoy it. Be careful on the lakes, as always. A little reminder.
Hey, Herb. Are you
definitely going to get out there and fill up gasoline at $5.65. Again, just a half a tank she'll do.
Here, I'm not a boater. Is that the same gas that goes in cars?
Minus the ethanol, so it doesn't ruin the engine.
So does it really cost more to fill up a boat?
Well,
no, I don't mean
cost more to get it there. It should cost a little bit more. Yeah, it should cost a little bit more.
Why should it cost?
So that's legitimate.
It's way harder to fill a boat up than it is to fill a car up.
No, remember, you got to bring it to the docks, and it's not like you're driving down Telegraph and pulling in a tanker. You got to pull a tanker in down the street, down to the boat club, and it's not always easy access. They have older
So here it is. Okay, so back in the day, you guys remember this, back in the day when gas went from $1.75 to $2 a gallon, went up a quarter, people were going crazy.
Right, now they get 50-cent jumps.
Now that it's $4 a gallon, you don't hear about it.
Basically.
You hear nothing.
All right, let's move on to Don out there in Troy. Hey, good morning, Don. Thanks for joining our show. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, the question, I was selling a house to an acquaintance who she doesn't quite have her funds together yet, and I was thinking about doing a land contract with her. I was just wondering what you thought of that.
Why would you do a land contract versus maybe just like a rent with option to buy? Because the land contract makes you the bank, Don. So I mean, if she doesn't pay, you have to go through a full foreclosure process as opposed to an eviction.
That was what a realtor recommended to do that. Instead, she said that sometimes renting to buy can be more complicated legally.
No, a land contract is 10 times more complicated.
Well, yeah, and plus you're going to want to take a large deposit. So she can't get a mortgage at all. Have you guys reviewed all that?
Well, she's getting a divorce, and she has to get her funds together.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't not a unique situation, and we see quite a bit of it. So you're going to sell her the house if you do it under a land contract. Just curious, give us an idea in the listening audience. How much is the purchase price? $70,000. What are you going to have her put down on the house for security, like her initial down payment to you?
We were looking at
$5,000 down. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. And what's the interest rate going to be that you're going to offer? 5-6% or a little higher?
Yeah, I think it was 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I think what Alex is saying is, and no doubt, Alex, if you want to jump in, is, you run into this. If you just rent it to her, 2-month security deposit.
She's got 45 days to be evicted. If you do a land contract, that's a full foreclosure.
But also a rent option to buy. If you document the fact that she's paying the rent, you can take the rent, use it as down payment money.
Yeah, so Don, you put some language in the lease agreement that says, okay, she's going to pay you $700 a month, and $100 every month goes towards the down payment. And then after X amount of years, she can buy the house. That's a way easier transaction, man.
You're talking about from a legal standpoint.
Yes.
To get her.
I wonder. I don't know why the realtor told me the opposite. Then she said that it's somehow trickier legally to rent to buy.
No, a land contract, Don, it makes you the bank. It makes you Capital Mortgage Funding. So if something goes wrong with that, you have to foreclose on her. She's got,
she's squat there for about 18 months.
a year and a half to get her out. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully nothing goes bad and everything works out. But I'm just saying if it does.
Yeah, you can evict somebody for not making rent payments.
Something to definitely think about.
Let me call you after the show and put you in touch, with an attorney and maybe a different real estate agent, because that's the land contract I'd advise you against.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks for listening, man.
In some situations, it does make sense, but in this situation, again, maybe she might not even be able to qualify. So what happens is, here that we're at the end of the land contract, there could be a balloon payment. She might not qualify. So when we have families that can't get mortgages and we know they're going land contracts, we sit them down. It's a good hour conversation about how they need to get organized now so that they're going to be able to get a mortgage at the end of that term. Because so often, and I'm hearing it from a lot of friends, I'm going to hang out with a dude tonight. He had a renter in there, and she wanted to buy the place, and the approval letter never showed up. And I spoke to the buyers, and I told them, I said, look, they're not getting a mortgage. Sure enough, there were 2-3 months later, they're moving out. He's selling the house to someone else. There's many offers on the house. And if you can't sell right now, you might want that money now. There's a lot of reasons you might not want to get tied in.
Well, whether you're renting or selling on a land contract, you always have to take a look at, unfortunately, the downside. What happens if people don't perform on what they're entering? Everything looks good going in. But when somebody doesn't perform, it's what's the quickest, easiest, cleanest way to get out?
Let's go to these.
So you got to manage that downside.
Go to Matt, will you?
Yeah, let's go to Matt first and hang in there, Tim. Hey, Matt, good morning from Chesterfield. What's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, what's
up,
Matt?
Hey, I'm running into a little problem. I signed an offer to sell my home in Chesterfield over a month ago, and we found out that the buyer was going to be doing a VA loan.
Okay,
no big deal. One of the things my agent wanted me to do was I got to get the documents from my association. We have a homeowner association to see the viability and all the numbers. And when I talked to the association, I said, well, this may take a little while. We got a veteran moving in, VA loan, and he said, stop. We're not a VA-approved site condo because we had too many delinquencies, et cetera. And I said, oh.
Right.
Okay, so I told my agent this, and he said, well, somebody just closed. They did a spot approval. Well, I've been told they don't do a spot approvals.
Yeah.
Now, I signed an addendum to extend the closing to July 7th. We had our appraisal from the VA over 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And don't know anything. And I'm a little upset because if I found this out, the buyer's agent should have known that from the...
It's a bummer, man.
I actually just had the same transaction, and I put one of our buyers in a site condo that wasn't VA approved, and we got the association and the property approved for them on their behalf. So if it's not approved right now, we can get it approved. The caveat, though, is that if no one's paying their association dues and they're all delinquent, that's a huge problem. And, somebody that took a VA loan, a mortgage person that doesn't know that and doesn't know that... Because VA treats site condos just like a high-rise condo, even though it's really
even though it's a house,
even though it's a single-family house, and it's just zoned that way from a building standpoint. That's how VA treats them. So you have to go through the full approval process to get that condo, and I'm doing air quotes, get the condo approved.
Matt, I'm thinking for time is not on your side. Is there any way you can go back to the buyer? And again, we want to help our veterans out. And again, we want him to buy your place if his heart's set on it. Is there any way you can go FHA and go 3.5% down? Because that would fly. That would definitely fly.
Right. I'm thinking probably not. The only reason is that he was even rolling the closing costs in. He was asking for all appliances. I met the buyer when they came, especially young, great guy.
Of course.
But I don't think he's going to be able to come to the table with, $5 or $6 grand.
Right. Well, he can get a gift.
And my big frustration is more on the two agents, not the buyer, is that if we end up, it doesn't go through, just lost out on a month to a month and a half of prime selling.
That's true. They don't know that, man.
My problem is with the homeowners association. No agent is going to know that the delinquency ratio on taxes and homeowners association dues is out there. I don't know that they know that.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Hey, Matt, we'll follow up with you. It sounds like we got to get your guy an FHA mortgage again. Maybe you can get a gift from a family member. So those are the things we'd want to move towards that direction. We would definitely have to take some other calls. Let's take Tim in real quick. We got Tim out there in Livonia again. Hey, Tim, what's happening?
How are we doing today, guys?
Morning,
Tim.
Hey, question. I'm looking to finally purchase a house in Canton from my brother. We purchased it about 5 years ago for $62,000. About $25,000 improvements, so I was looking to do a mortgage of about $100,000.
Okay.
The house in here has been selling for like $150-ish.
And it's your brother's house?
Yeah, he purchased it for me when I went through my divorce and everything else.
That's an easy deal. You can actually buy it and do what's called a gift of equity. He can give you the equity in the house as a down payment, cover your closing costs, taxes, and everything. That's a great deal. You're in a good position.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too. So how do I go about that, or what do I need to do?
I can call you after the show. What I'll do is we'll structure the purchase agreement for you. There's some verbiage that has to be in there about the gift of equity and all that, a couple documents he has to sign, but we'll handle the whole thing for you. You're in a really good position, man. That's awesome. Awesome for you.
Yeah, because I'd like to start getting things going back together the way they should be.
Sounds good,
I'll call you
man.
in 10 minutes, sir.
Another awesome show, Harvey.
Thanks
Now
for
it's
the
another
call.
great show.
Let's do the wrap-up here. We got Pat Caputo coming up with sports and social commentary. We got Tiger Baseball here in the afternoon. Keep it here on 97.1. Call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Be safe out there and enjoy your summer. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
The preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Hi, Harry Glantz for Capital Mortgage Funding. Rates are at historic lows, so what are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE and let our award-winning staff help you save money. Look, if you're looking to purchase a new home, refinance your existing home, and you want to save money, call 1-800-LOW-RATE and take advantage of these historic low rates. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Capital Mortgage Funding is a proud division of United Shore Financial Services and MLS number 3038 Equal Housing Lender. What are you waiting for? Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
Hi, welcome to AT&T.
Hi, we're looking for a plan that'll help keep the family connected this summer.
All right. How do you use your AT&T devices?
How about you, Kyle? Kyle, headphones.
I'm listening to music on my phone.
I want to text my friends a lot.
And I want to not spend a lot of money.
Well, with AT&T's best ever pricing for families, you get 4 lines of service with unlimited talk and text, plus 10 gigabytes of data to share for $160 a month. And with the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network.
Sounds great, right, Kyle? Kyle!
No, I'm not hungry.
AT&T, mobilizing your world. AT&T reminds you to never text and drive. It can wait.
Come in now and get the Samsung Galaxy S5 Active for $0 down with AT&T Next. Exclusive to AT&T, the Galaxy S5 Active is engineered for your active lifestyle. Visit ATT.com or store for details.
Pricing for mobile share value service on 4 smartphones with no annual service contract. Phone sold separately. AT&T Next charges extra and requires qualified installment agreement, credit, and wireless service. Other charges and restrictions apply. Reliability based on nationwide carriers 4G LTE.
The battery. Modern day fire. Powering everything from remote control cars to the car in your garage. So when your car battery is reaching the end of the line, or you're wondering whether it is, stop by Advance Auto Parts. We'll test your old one for you, free of charge. And if you purchase a new Autocraft battery, we'll install it for free. Only if you'd like us to, of course.